After graduation, she managed to fall in love with me, so much so that I couldn't live or breathe without her, and she fell in love with me too. Yes, but the catch was that my beloved was married. And not just married, but to an official of a very large scale. And he was also a vicious and vindictive person. And my beloved and I decided to run away from the city somewhere far away that what they were in, as they say, they left wherever they looked. And the road led us to these most remote taiga places. And I got a job at the place of Igor, who disappeared in the taiga. It was a mysterious case, by the way. It is still unknown what happened to him. That we settled in the house of the same former Igor in the taiga, a few kilometers from the village. Moving to such a remote place was a conscious step for us. My beloved and I were looking for solitude. They began to settle in and enjoy life with each other. Gradually, relations with the locals improved, and we were no longer considered outsiders. Although I was not sociable, I knew my job well and performed it conscientiously. I did not let anyone down. All the villagers understood that there should be order in the taiga, and supported me in my difficult task that I had to deal with poachers, and to rebuff overly arrogant representatives of the authorities, otherwise they think that everything is allowed to them. So it's been 2 years since we ran away from the city. One day I brought a wounded wolf cub to our hut and instructed my wife to treat and nurse him. The wolf cub's mother was killed by poachers, and without human help, he would have died. Then while Lubasha replaced the baby's mother, pulled him literally from the other world. She put him on his feet, fed him from a bottle with a pacifier, did not sleep at night, sat next to him. The wolf grew up, got stronger and went to the taiga without even saying goodbye. And about a year after that, I went on a big circle tour, which means for 3 or 4 days. Lubasha stayed on the farm. She was no stranger to it, and just at that very time, her ex-husband came into the hut. It turned out that ever since we left, he had been looking for us. There wasn't a day that he didn't think about the place. It took him 3 years to figure out where we were. After all, we didn't even tell our parents anything about ourselves. That he must have been watching us for a long time and waiting for the right moment. And he waited until I finally left home. Luba lost consciousness from a strong blow to the head with a blunt object. When I woke up, it was already evening. She was lying in the taiga, but in what place, she could not understand. Most likely, somewhere far from our hut. His hands and feet were tightly tied behind his back, his mouth was gagged with some kind of rag, so much so that there was no way to scream or move. In such a state, a person is unlikely to last long. Also, wild animals will quickly do their job, and you will not find any ends. That's probably what the bastard had in mind. So it was certain death. My arms and legs were numb, my body became wooden. Suddenly, through the remnants of consciousness, Luba felt a hot breath. Someone was clearly sniffing her. She turned her head with difficulty and saw burning eyes in the darkness. It's a wolf, there was no doubt about it. Well, that's all flashed through her mind. But then something incredible happened. The wolf wasn't trying to kill her at all, but quite the opposite. He began to gnaw at the ropes on her wrists. Luba couldn't believe what was happening at first, but then she remembered the wolf cub, to whom she had once replaced her mother. That's who came to her rescue in a difficult moment. He did not calm down until he had completely chewed through the rope. When Luba finally got free, the wolf came so close to her that she could hug him and cried, burying her face in his thick fur. After making sure that she was all right, the wolf disappeared into the taiga again, but now forever. When dawn broke, Lubasha was able to get to the hut, and then to the village. There she told the district police officer everything. A criminal case was opened, but it had to be quickly closed, because soon the hunters found the torn body of the villain in the taiga. The conclusion of the investigation was as follows. The man was killed by a wolf. After the death of the scoundrel, Luba officially became a widow, and we were finally able to formalize our relationship with her. But they didn't want to return to the city to the people anymore. We bought a house in the village, I continued to work in the taiga, and Luba gave birth to 3 sons. Dear viewers, if you liked this video, then like and subscribe to our channel. Goodbye.